YouTube? So excited to have you guys back here today because we have another review video, of course, of the South African crime thriller series Unseen, which is newly released, adapted from the Turkish Netflix original series, and it was well received. So well received that now we have an adaptation. That is what we're going to be breaking down today. My name is Twanela. If you don't already know, I'm happy to have you here and welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do it, and also hit that notification bell so that you know that each and every time that I post, you're in the loop. I'm excited, guys, so let's get into it. We meet our protagonist, who is a cleaner, but it is established that she's no ordinary cleaner. In the first episode, she's part of the panel of ladies that needs to be identified being accused of a certain crime or something that they committed, but she states that she's just a cleaner. We'll see why this is important to the story. This is happening over the course of a week leading up to Saturday. You can just see that the element of time plays an important role into how everything actually unfolds. And just note that she works in different establishments, households, so she has different employers. Each and every day is indicated to showcase that on a certain day she has to be at a certain place or at a certain household. So we actually go back in time. And her husband is being released from prison. She goes and waits for him, but it is then discovered that her husband was already released. He didn't come home. She doesn't know where he is, and now she starts to go on this journey of figuring out where he possibly might be. Along the way, she finds herself at the hands of these high-profile criminals who were linked to her husband. This places her in some vulnerable situations where she has to protect herself. In a way, she becomes her own hero. This is where we discover a different side to her. And ultimately, she turns into an unexpected force. She gets roped into this whole world because of her husband. As the plot progresses, we see the series of flashbacks serving as insight into who she actually is and her life before everything turned upside down. We can see this with the lighting, where warmer tones are more eminent to showcase her happier times with her family. We also see the dynamic between her husband and her son, in contrast to her present moment, where dull and dark lighting tones show that she's not in the best shape she could be in. So we can just see how the struggle and grief consumes her, because we also lose her emotionally, and that is how I got disconnected from her. But that's the beauty about our new age protagonists, as I would like to say. The viewer doesn't need to take the protagonist's side. They don't need you to consult with them before, and you don't need to agree with the decisions that they are making. That is also a factor within the thriller subgenre. So you can just see how writers nowadays are making it a point to show the layered complexities of a human mind. You have empathy for your character, but at some point when you don't agree with what they're saying, then it is what it is. That is how I also felt disconnected, but at the same time I understood that it came from a place of she's literally lost everything, that I feel like her emotions at this point just took a back seat because she had to get the things done. Now let's look into some of the key characters that were important to her world. One of her employers, who is a writer journalist, he is set out to write this book, and it's called Unseen, which is the title of the series in itself. In this book, he is telling the story of a domestic worker and how these women are often overlooked. They know everything about the households and the people they work for, but those people can't say the same about them. This basically is a social commentary on how ignorant society is, which is an important factor here. We see as Raymond supports this notion, who is also one of her employers, who's acquainted to Max, indicates then she's an invisible woman. No one sees her coming. She's just a cleaner. No one would think she's capable. So that's why he said that is your superpower. She takes something that belongs to him, and that is why he's keeping track of her throughout this journey, while at the same time seeing an opportunity to kind of use her to get his way as well. Then we also meet her sister Naledi. We see their broken relationship because Naledi seems well off, in contrast to her where she's struggling financially with accommodation. She's just going through all of these hardships, but she has a sister who can assist. The fact that they have issues that needs to be resolved, that cannot happen. That was a very relatable aspect to the story, because honestly I was just like, your sister is going through it, you are here, you are family, you're supposed to be helping her. Their upbringing could have led up to the way she currently is. It's like her instinct really just kicks in. So Naledi comes off as judgmental, but later on we start to see how she started to have empathy for her sister. One thing that I liked about the series is the fact that we were dealing with strong women, okay? They didn't need any saving. Literally, when Raymond comes and goes to Naledi's house, she's like, yo, you're not gonna do that. So I love that whole element of the powerful woman, and it is refreshing to see. When it comes to the performances, you could see that this is what she was given and she did her part. All the actors did what was required to bring their characters to life. It was just a cast of well-established actors and people who've been in the industry for a long time. It was no question that they were going to bring success to the story. Everything from the editing and the production in itself was seamless. The plot, the narrative is very well off, right? So a personal thing that I would like to point out is whenever I watch a South African Netflix series, I always feel like there are certain elements that don't always come into play, because most of the time stories are more heavily focused on the plot in itself. There's no play on other elements that can color the story in itself. Fun elements such as just playing around with cinematography or something extra about the editing, those aspects, sometimes they take a backseat. I was just like terrified at how short-lived everything was, and that really broke my heart, because it was like, this is just a tragic situation. We have to also look into her relationship with her husband, the love that she actually had for this man, because literally she was set on just finding her husband. At the same time, she was also dealing with a heartbreak. It was a classic case of when you get to a breaking point where you feel like you have nothing to lose anymore, that you just lose your sense of self and you literally get roped into this obsession of getting through whatever it is that you're going through. Basically, she was just like struggling, man. And I really don't want to ruin it for people who haven't watched it, but there's still room for the story to progress. At the same time, I'm just like, where will we go from there? All in all, this was really refreshing to see. My question to you guys is, should we miss it? Should we catch it? For those who have watched it, tell me in the comment section down below. Actually, I would like to hear from you guys. That is all that I have for you guys today. If you made it up to this point in this video, thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell that you're always in the loop. At that girl 20 everywhere, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter streets, yes, even here on YouTube. If I post something on my community tab, you guys can also just comment there and we can engage and interact there. If you guys like these kind of content, please do let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to do more of these as well. They're very insightful. Also, in a way, it's a plug. I'm plugging y'all, and to keep on creating this content, do subscribe, like, and share it with your friends and family, and let me know what kind of videos you guys would like to see in the future. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you guys in the next video.